Oh, I was freaking out there for a minute. I thought my microphone was broken. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. This is why I do a setup stream for like 5 minutes, because it seems like I always have some kind of weird technical issue that crops up and something doesn't work like it's supposed to work. Hope everybody's having a good night tonight. This is Jason with Akers Pest Control. Sorry my sound was messed up. People on TikTok are saying, I can hear you, I can hear you. They don't realize I'm live on YouTube too, and my Yeti mic wouldn't work. Let's see, let's show you. See? Oh, my wife's desk. There's my mic, and it wasn't working. So, now, hope everybody's doing all right. I'm here, ready to talk. Goodness me. That was a little stressful. I thought my microphone was broken. I was like, oh, man. Because I don't want to talk with this one. This one, it's a piece of crap. Don't work too well. What can you spray outside that won't harm animals but can help with fleas? I did a video on that, actually. If you go to my YouTube channel and you search fleas, there it is. #1 video right there. And I go to there. Let's see. Let's share. Copy. And I'll paste it in the chat. And I'll tell you. Alright, so the main thing about pesticides that you need to understand is that pesticides are safe as long as you follow your label. The label is written a specific way in order to be healthy, safe, for you, not the bugs. As long as you follow the label and do what the label says, you're not going to hurt your pets. So, anyway. If you visit someone's home with termites, can you bring them to my home? No. No, termites typically live in the ground, or they live in the house. They don't live from house to house. You can't bring termites in mulch. You can't, you can't bring termites to your house. As long as it's eastern subterranean. Eastern subterranean is what I deal with in Virginia. That's what I do a lot of treatments for. And, yeah, you can't bring them home with you. Anyway. Oh my goodness. Sorry about a little bit of technical difficulties there at the beginning. That frazzled me and made me forget all of what I was going to talk about tonight. Oh my goodness. I forgot to get my water before I started this, and now I need it. So let's see. For those that don't know, a lot of people don't know, but I have an Amazon page. Now, how does Amazon work? Amazon pays me a percentage of every sale I make. So this is basically like, let me be an influencer, let me try to sell you something kind of deal. Now, I don't recommend using Amazon all the time, because I get the cheapest prices. This is what I do. So I'm going to show you how I go about buying my pest control products for my business. Now, sometimes I use suppliers like Residex and different companies. Other times I use Amazon. Sometimes I use do-it-yourself pest control. And I want to teach you how to do that today. So, do-it-yourself. I didn't spell that right. There you go. Do-it-yourself pest control. Alright, so there's one web page There's a do-it-yourself pest control. Do my own pest control. So let's go there. All right, there's do my own. All right, so this is how I buy my pesticides. I thought this would be interesting for people that don't know how I actually get chemicals. So let's say I was going to buy Crossfire. Crossfire is for bed bugs. Crossfire. All right, there's Crossfire. This is on do-it-yourself pest control. See the little icon right there, the little bar? And then I want to search it over here. Crossfire. There it is right there. And there's that one. All right. And then I get over to Amazon. And now I've got the link directly to it here, so you can just click it there. All right, so if I were to buy Crossfire in a 13-ounce bottle, Amazon right now is $38.99 for a bottle of Crossfire. If I go over to do it yourself or DIY, do it yourself pest control, theirs 13-ounce bottle is $42.19 for one. And over on do my own pest control is $48.90 for one. So that's pretty expensive. Now, if I was going to buy, now I typically don't buy these 13-ounce bottles. I buy a gallon of Crossfire. So when I buy Crossfire, I buy this one, this big one right here, because it's got, you know, a whole gallon of concentrate, which makes 10 gallons finished solution. All right, so that's $349 on Amazon, so like $350. All right, on here, it's $320. You see, it's a lot cheaper on this website, on Do-It-Yourself Pest Control. This is the difference in the way that the prices fluctuate. And this is why you have to watch your prices. And on here, right here, it's $364 on this site right here. So that's how I go about buying my pesticides. I buy it from whoever's the cheapest because it's all the same. So if you get on my Amazon page, and the main reason the Amazon page is there is to give you a resource where you can see what you're trying to order. So like if you wanted, let's say we weren't getting Crossfire, let's say we were going to get some spider pesticide. Let's say we want Demon Max right here. All right, there's a Demon Max pesticide bottle. All right, this bottle is $36 on Amazon. If you go over here and search Demon Max, there's your bottle. That's $35.50 on this website, if you can see the price there. On Amazon, it's $35.99. All right. So far, do-it-yourself pest control is cheaper. So if we go over here and search Demon Max, theirs is $32.98. They won. All right. Do My Own is the cheapest. They won the battle. So then you buy it from them. So that's why I have this website right here, so that you can actually see all the products that I recommend to use for different bugs. And if you buy from Amazon, it does kick back to me. I do get I think it's a 3% on pesticides, I think, that I get on every sale that I make. But, you know, like I said, it's a resource. It's somewhere you can see all these different things that I use in my business. And like I said, do like me and be frugal and try to save your money. That's what I'm here to do. That's what I'm here to try to teach you how to do. So hopefully that explains a lot to people, because I have had people say, well, you know, I got cheaper here and I got cheaper here. You don't have to buy from Amazon, and you don't. Now, I wouldn't just buy it from anybody. You know, my son brought me my water, just so you know. So I won't be too parched. So let's see. I posted in your Discord earlier, but I'm in Canada and wasn't able to get my hands on Harris. I did order temperate, but it'll take weeks to get here. There's not really... Oh, yeah, you asked about permethrin. Permethrin, I think it was. Permethrin doesn't really work well on bed bugs. Excuse me, I'm tired. I don't recommend much of anything else other than neonicotinoid. It's hard to find other pesticides in Canada. The Canadian government's very restrictive on which you can and can't purchase. That doesn't mean you can't get them or you can't actually have them applied in your house. A lot of times you have to actually hire a technician to do it. And that's the problem in Canada. Apprehend is available in Canada. I recommend Apprehend because Apprehend is really successful on getting rid of bed bugs as well in areas where Crossfire is not legal. But I don't recommend doing it yourself. I recommend hiring someone else to do it. Apprehend is a very difficult pesticide to apply. You have to have very specialized equipment to do it, and I do not recommend just anybody go out, buy Apprehend, and use it. I just don't. I don't recommend it. Hey, Kenji, thank you for the $10 here all the time, showing up, giving me money every single time I show up here. Cause I think you just do it just to hear me say, don't do that. I think that's why you do it. It's like talking to one of my children and say, don't stick that in the outlet, and then they do it anyway. I don't think bed bugs are as, and I appreciate it, I do. I'm just joking with you. I don't think bed bugs are as bad as they used to be. Oh my goodness. They're pretty bad. They're pretty bad. Let me show you a video. Let's share a video. This is one of my, I was showing my wife this earlier. It's one of my #1 videos right now that people have watched in the last 2 months. Let me see if I can get the right scene here. All right, so there's me. There's a handsome fellow right there. All right, so let's go back here, and let's go back to home. Now I started doing these little short videos like I do on TikTok. So TikTok's got a lot of these videos already. But if you scroll down and you look at this, this is one of my #1 videos on YouTube. So let me show you this video. This is a bed bug infestation. So this used to be a chair. A chair used to sit here. And just to give you an idea of how bad they are, these are all bed bug casings. All of them. I mean, isn't that great sound? Piles of them. Piles of them. Oh my goodness. Everywhere. Just to give you an idea of the kind of things now we as exterminators deal with. This is piles. This is really a lot. This is the worst one I've been on for a very long time. And look at there. There's a live one right there. There's a live bed bug crawling on that outlet. There's one in there. I don't know if you can see it but that right there. There's a bed bug right there inside that plug. There's one over here in the shade. You can't really see too well. Years. There's a live one right there crawling on the outlet that they had here. Oh. All right. So you see this outline right here. This outline right here. This is where the chair used to sit. They used to have a lazy boy recliner right here. And I wouldn't service a house unless they threw that out of the house because it was covered in things that I didn't want to mess with. And not just bed bugs don't bother me, but it was a kind of a gross situation. And so they had to throw that chair away. But just to give you an idea, you know, for those that think that bed bugs aren't still bad, they're still really bad. Yeah. So it depends on, you know. Anyway. Went to the dentist earlier, came home with a small one, was chilling on the back of it. They're still pretty much present there on the back of your hoodie. In today's bad economy, you got to go with the winner. I apply this concept to pretty much anything I order. Yeah, well, I mean, when the internet allows for price comparison, it's not like just going across the street to the grocery store that might be 5 cents cheaper. You could order from a company across the world that will give you a better price. And so that's why I try to teach people how to buy their pesticides on the internet. Like I said, the Amazon page really is just there as a way that you can find the products that you need. It does support the channel. It does help me with the channel a lot. But I also have Patreon for that, which is up there, the links and stuff. But I don't really promote that. I've got the links there. I show it like on my video, like the Green Acres, like right, well, not over there, like there, like there's Patreon, and there's my Twitter, and there's the YouTube, and I've got all kinds of stuff in my bio too. People go and they donate sometimes to PayPal and stuff like that. But I don't try to get up here and try to say, hey, give me money, because I don't need that. I'm here just to talk to you and try to help you. I don't need your money. I don't need your donations. I don't need any of that stuff. I like to just sit here and talk with you and help you. This is what I enjoy doing. I enjoy my job. I'm kind of a weirdo when it comes to pest control. I really like my job and I like to help others. So anyway, enough mushy stuff. Do they make a DDT substitute? No, I mean, synthetic pyrethroids are a DDT substitute. That's what came out to replace DDT, but they don't work on bed bugs. Not anymore. Let's see. How can someone live in that without being bled out? I know that's what I think. I actually think they contributed to the death of the people that were living in that house because both people died. I mean, because the graphic I show in my videos all the time now, is one female bed bug in a year can become 38 million, and 38 million bed bugs need about need about 1,000 pints of blood a week to survive, and that's a lot of blood. That's more than one person has in their body, and so yeah, so it's a definitely contributed. Probably had anemia and all kinds of stuff wrong with them. Crossfire gallons are hard to pour into B&G without spilling. Ah, I don't spill Crossfire. Stuff's like gold, man. But I've been pouring pesticides in a B&G for years. I mean, I can pour water, from a 2.5 gallon jug at 5 feet above the B&G and make it in the lid and not spill a drop. But I've been doing it forever. Speaking of prices, I've noticed Amazon does mark up. They do. Sometimes you can get it cheaper on Amazon. It just depends on what it is. And Amazon, I think, fluctuates the most. So, like, if you like right now, it's 39. Well, average 39.14, but it looks like it's 39.14. See, it went up $1 since I showed it to you because I think it was like 38 a minute ago. And so that's the thing. So it fluctuates like a stock market. It's crazy. Crossfire. I have seen Crossfire on Amazon run like $50 a bottle. I've seen it as low as $32 a bottle for the little 13 ounce. And I don't, like I said, I don't buy the 13 ounce bottles. I buy the gallon. So I usually can get it cheaper by the ounce because I'm buying a gallon, but I'm also using it all the time. I use a lot of Crossfire in my business because that's what I use to kill bed bugs. And so it's just, it's one of those things where the price fluctuates. It's pretty volatile. But this is the cheapest. This is cheaper than the other websites right now. Amazon is. So it really just depends on, I guess, supply and demand. So let's see here. Speaking of prices, I've noticed Amazon marks up. Sometimes you don't have much of a choice, especially on the side of the border. I have an oddball question. Just out of curiosity, have you ever had a service call with bed bugs at a funeral home or hospital or public places like those? Schools. I've done schools for bed bugs. As far as a public place, I've done schools, the school building. A school building for bed bugs. I've done, let me think, restaurant. I serviced a restaurant for bed bugs once. Mostly homes, mostly personal homes and vehicles. So you don't recommend treating then bagging personal items? No, I don't. I recommend treating no, I don't. All right, so here's the problem with putting things in plastic bags. Let's say you have something of yours, a personal item, that there is a bedbug egg on, and you go and you seal it up in a plastic bag, and then that egg can't get out of that bag once it's hatched, and that bedbug can't get on your furniture to die. I don't recommend that. I think that's a mistake. I think that what you need to do is you need to try to keep your place tidy, for one, so the less places for bedbugs to live. And then you need to treat your bed, treat your mattress, box spring, headboard, footboard, bed rails. Take your laundry that you're worried bed bugs are in. Dry the laundry first because bed bugs can swim. They don't drown, they swim. So it's better to use them in the dryer first. Go in reverse. Do your laundry backwards. If you find that there are bed bugs in the lint trap of your washing machine or your dryer, sorry, not the washing machine, but the dryer, if you find bed bugs in there, then you know that there were bed bugs in the clothes. You might want to wash your clothes and then dry them again. There is no reason to wash clean clothes if the clothes are clean and there's no bed bugs living in them. So if you're curious and you're worried that the bed bugs might be in your clothing, then dry them first. Then you're not wasting water. And, in an economy like today, why would you want to spend a whole lot of money on water you don't really have to use? So, but if you're worried that bed bugs might be in your belongings, like let's say you got a teddy bear, all right, and you're worried the bed bugs are in the teddy bear, take the teddy bear and set it beside the bed and the floor. When the bed bugs crawl off of the teddy bear to come up the leg of the bed, they'll crawl over the bed legs and the box spring and the mattress that you're sleeping on that's been treated with Crossfire, and they'll die. So it's not hard. It's not really hard to get rid of bed bugs out of your belongings. They will naturally come out on their own. You don't have to coax them out. They're going to come out to bite you. And when they do, they crawl through the chemical and they die. Found a flea on me tonight in the house. 20 years in our home. Always had inside dogs, never fleas. New neighbor has only outside dogs. What should I do? You can treat inside with Alpine. I don't know. I don't know if you asked. Did you just ask about fleas? Someone just asked about fleas. I might even still have it in the thing. That's my flea video, if you're interested. You can take a look at that. It'll explain how to get rid of fleas. Alpine WSG is what I recommend for fleas inside. I commissioned to do a computer build, and the prices, some parts are ridiculous compared to other retailers. Yeah, that's right. I like building computers. Building computers is fun. This is the only computer, the one I have right now, my wife bought me as a gift. It's the only computer I've ever not built myself in years, since I was maybe 18. Heat in the house, like a heat treatment, doesn't work. I can hold my tongue, Kenju. Kenju says, get ready to hear Jason's rant on heat treatments. Heat treatments don't work. They don't work. You spend a lot of money for something that doesn't work. If you take your clothes and you dry them in your dryer, that will work, but the bed bugs can't get away. If you heat your room, the bed bugs are going to go into the cracks and crevices and try to get away from the heat. If you're outside in a nice hot sunny day, it's 110 degrees in the shade, what are you going to do? You're going to go where it's cooler. You're not going to stay outside and cook to death. You could be outside from the morning. Now, this is one of the things they'll tell you. They say, well, we just raise the temperature slowly so the bed bugs don't get used to it. That's not true. Because if you lay outside on your porch in the morning, it just has 70 degrees. It's comfortable. And then as the day goes throughout, then it gets hotter and hotter and hotter, you're going to wake up, you're going to go in the house. You're going to get out of the heat. That's not true. The whole gradual increase of temperatures to kill bed bugs is not true. It's not true. Most bed bugs will die, but a lot of them won't. And they will retreat into places they can get away from the heat. And then in a few days, after the heat's been turned off, you have a problem with bed bugs again. And then you're going to have to try to fight with people that try to say, well, we give a 90-day warranty or a 6-month warranty, and then they're not going to come through on that. They're not going to honor it. I don't know of anybody that does. Because they always have some reason why you failed. It wasn't their fault. It's your fault. I go behind all companies. I've been behind all the major companies. I've been behind a lot of small companies when they've done heat treatments and they've failed. And every single customer that I've been behind, where I've been behind another exterminator to fix their screw up, the customer has told me the exterminator made up an excuse to why they would not honor their warranty. Every single one. And I can list name brands. Everybody knows the top 2, at least, exterminators in the country, in the United States. And I've gone behind both of those companies. And I've gone behind lots of other companies too. And every single time, it's some screw up, though, the customer's fault. It's always a customer's fault. It's never their fault. It's never the fact that they're trying to sell a treatment that doesn't work. It's not effective. And it's not as effective as chemical. They don't like to admit that it's not as effective as chemical, but it's not as effective as chemical. I'm here to tell you because I've been behind them and I've fixed their problems. So there you go. There's my rant. That's for Kenju. Just for Kenju. Because he said he wanted to hear my rant. There you go. It's not a scam. Heat treatments work sometimes. Heat treatments fail a lot more than they'd like to admit. That's the problem. Is if you've got a 70% success rate, then 30% of the time it doesn't work. That's the problem. They can come in and they can say, well, here's our paperwork, here's our proof, this is how we know we do what we do, and it works. But then you look at them and you say, well, what about the 30% that failed? You're saying you got this percentage, or even 90%. Well, what about the 10% that fail? Ask that question. What did you do for those people? What did you do for those people when it failed? What did you do? Oh, well, most of the time when it fails, it's because the customer's continuing to bring them in the house, or it's because they didn't properly bag their laundry or their belongings, or all these other stupid reasons, that they'll give you. Alicia's not here, Kenji. She's upstairs with the baby. The kids still are not asleep, and it is like after 10 o'clock, and the kids are still not asleep. But I can't wait all night to get online and talk to you guys. So. I will be right back. All right, let's see if I can get this thing to work again. There we go. All right, so somebody says, do you travel all over Virginia? I do. I do travel all over Virginia. I don't do a lot of traveling all over Virginia during the summer months because I stay so busy. I'm so busy this time of year that I don't have a lot of time to do the long distance bedbug stuff. And so the prices go up during the summertime because I honestly don't have the time. But during the winter, I do a lot more long distance bedbugs. But honestly, I find that during the colder months, you find more bedbug problems because people are going to their friends and their family for like the holiday season. After Thanksgiving, typically after Thanksgiving, about 3 or 4 weeks after Thanksgiving, like right before Christmas, usually like 2 weeks before Christmas, people will call you and they'll say, hey, is there any way you can get out here to treat my house for bed bugs? I got family coming over for Christmas. Or they'll call you after Christmas, like maybe a week or two after New Year's, and they'll say, hey, I think my family brought bed bugs in the house. I've got bed bugs in the house. So usually the long distance is more in the wintertime than in the summertime anyway. People vacation in the summer too. If you think about it, if it takes the average person 3 to 6 months to notice before they have a bedbug infestation, which is the typical, it usually is 2, 3, maybe even 6 months before people recognize they have a bedbug problem. So if it takes them that long to notice bedbugs, if they're going on summer vacation, like school's getting ready to be let out here in just a few weeks, and when school lets out, usually people will go and plan like a summer vacation, July, August, before school starts back up. And then, give them a month or 2, 3 months, and they roll around about September, October, November, people have started noticing they have bed bugs. So, usually it is the winter months I do most of my long distance stuff. But I've been all over Virginia killing bed bugs. I've been to the Chesapeake area. I've been to the Blue Ridge. I've been down to southern, almost in Chatham and Danville area. Martinsville, all over. I've been all over Virginia. Of course, Charlottesville, everywhere in between, killing bed bugs. That one real bad bed bug job I just showed you, that one was Charlottesville. So I doubt I'd be able to do a heat treatment living in an apartment anyway. Yeah, no, it's not. Well, heat really just doesn't work. So you've got to think about it like this. A lot of people believe that the heat, you have to get, like, one person posted on one of my videos, I think it was either video or somewhere, said that they were going to heat their house up to 120 degrees. And that will kill all the adults. Adults die at 118 degrees. So anything in excess of 118 degrees Fahrenheit will kill adults. But the problem is that the eggs don't die until it reaches 125 degrees. And in order to get the temperature constant at 125 degrees everywhere in the entire house. Now, I'm not just talking about in the airspace. I'm talking about the walls. I'm talking about the baseboards, crown molding, under beds, around all the furniture and stuff that's still in the room. You have to use fans. You have to divert the heat. And it has to be on like 8 to 10 hours. If your exterminator is doing a heat treatment and they're not in your house all day long, they're not doing the job they're supposed to be doing. And that's just in all of the research I've done on heat treatments. You really do need to be there for a long time in order to be successful. And this is from actual exterminators. I ask exterminators all the time, like, well, how can you stand behind a heat treatment when I go behind them all the time? And they're like, the reason you're having to go behind these heat treatments is because the technicians aren't staying there long enough. That you have to stay there for a long time. You have to get the heater up hot enough. The temperature at the ceiling is typically 135 to 150 degrees because heat rises. And you have to blow that heat back down, and you have to make sure it stays down on the floor level because bed bugs go down in the floorboards. They go down in the hardwood floors and tile floors, and they go in around legs of beds and stuff all the time. And if you don't keep the heat down there, it won't kill the bed bugs down there. It's really hard. And I mean, I've seen people melting all kinds of stuff. I've seen a melted TV like a candle. I've seen busted hairspray bottles. All kinds of crazy stuff I've seen happen. It's not worth the damage that you're doing to your house with a heat treatment. It's just not. It's not worth it. There are cheaper, more affordable ways, easier ways to get rid of bed bugs than a heat treatment. The only reason people purchase a heat treatment is because they want instant gratification. They're the person that is willing to pay a high dollar amount to get rid of the bed bugs right now because they're scared and they don't want the things in their house. It's like the easiest way to get rid of the problem is to pay the money to get rid of it. And it just doesn't work that way. It's really the exterminating, the pest control industry is taking advantage of people in their instant desire. They just desire it to be gone now. They can't wait a few weeks. My other question on not bagging my stuff sounds like all you need to do is spray the mattress, couches, baseboards, then wait for them to come out and walk through the poisoned areas. Correct. The floor is made of lava. Alright, remember that game? The floor is made of lava. So when you take Crossfire and you spray it on your mattress and your box spring, the box spring is made of lava. And if the bed bugs crawl across it, they will die. Alright? That's the thing. But they don't know it's there. They don't see it. Crossfire is a non-repellent pesticide. It actually was invented to deal with pyrethroid-resistant bed bugs. So it's actually really good for resistances and stuff like that too. I think it was a channel where I saw a picture of a melted TV. I showed the melted TV. I showed one. Let me show you. Let me see if it's on my iCloud. That's the only way I can show it is through my photos on my iCloud account. Because that's where they are. I can show you some crazy things on iCloud. Let's see. Trust. I'm trying to get it up. Show you. I don't want to show y'all everything. Photos. Let's see. It's in an album. And it's in... Well, there's bed bugs. Let's see. Let's look in that one. Huh. I don't think it's in this one. Let's pull this down here. So let's share. Alright. So let's show y'all some pictures. Y'all see some pictures? I'll show you some pictures. Can I show it? Can I just... No, I can't. Let's see. I want to download and do this. Ha ha! Look at that one. That's a good picture. A little blurry around the edges. Not one of my best pictures I've taken. There's a picture of some bed bugs. I like to share all kinds of stuff with y'all. So let's see. Not the best picture I've taken. But there's eggs right there. For people that don't know what bed bug eggs look like. That's eggs. This is all poop, by the way. All this black stuff. That's all their droppings. It's dried blood. Is it dookie? We got... See, there's one that's fed. See how they get black in the middle? That's because they fed. Let's see. You know, I think it's in my favorite album, actually. I think I hearted that on purpose so I could show it to people easily. Because... Emma... Got all kinds of bed in here. Beds, not beds. Pictures. There's my favorites. Where is it? Okay. So here is a picture of a melted TV. Now, that happened in a house where a heat treatment was done. Now, that's not just a flat screen TV. That's a big mamma jamma. So there's a TV. This, let's see if I can. So I got to download all these. There's a hairspray bottle that got left in, forgot about. It blew the lid off the bottle and it shot through the wall. There's actually a picture of a wall. It went through 2 sheets of sheetrock. There's, see where it went through? See, you can see the bottom of the can right there. It went through one wall. On the opposite side, went through the other sheetrock wall and landed, lodged through the other wall. And that's a, yeah. So, and that's a hairspray can that was left in there. Actually, it looks like it's air, some kind of an air freshener, actually, is what it is. It's an air freshener bottle. Crazy, isn't it? Crazy. So, that's a heat treatment. Do you want to do that to your house? Over bug bites? Is that really what you want to do? Like I said, the salesman got to be real good. They're not going to show you those kinds of pictures. But I will. I don't care. Might as well be honest. Why lie to people? It doesn't do any good. So, anyway. Let's see, what else did everybody say? I'll try to keep up with everyone. I don't have my mod in here tonight. I don't know what happened, Jennifer. She done forgot all about me. Let's see. What's a good way to get rid of field mice if you live in the woods in Virginia? I'd poison them. I've got a whole series on mice, too. So, let's show you how to find that one. So, this is my shorts. Let's go back to home. That's not it. Alright. So, if we go down to videos, playlists, go to playlists, actually. This is on the playlist. And now it's not, this is a holiday winter invader series that I did on just things that come in through the winter that you have to worry about. But if you go to Mouse Monday, Hey everybody, this is Jason Akers. Look how young I used to look. I mean, look at that. I used to be young. I've been on YouTube for a long time. This was November 6, 2017. That great panel board back there. You could like I used to do, sit back and be like, that looks kind of like a ghost. Like, see, there's an eye right there, and there's like an eye socket right there, and there's a mouth. Yeah, so that's what I recommend going there. But then you can go down here, and it'll talk about the different rodenticides and stuff that I use and how I deal with mice and stuff. But I recommend going and watching that series if you're curious about how to get rid of mice. But yeah, I've been on YouTube for a long time. I look at these old videos and I'm like, I've aged. Show my cheek. That's what you're supposed to do, right? To make yourself look beautiful, you're supposed to show your cheekbones. I'm silly. Sorry, tired. I get this way when I'm tired. And for people on TikTok that are wondering why they can't see the things I'm sharing, it's because I'm sharing it on YouTube. If you check my bio, it links in my bio. And you can follow over to YouTube. But that's what I recommend. That's where you're going to get the whole show. I'm actually just on TikTok just to advertise myself on YouTube. So, let's see. Oh, I don't like Semexa. Let's see. Knock on wood, I never get infestation that bad. Few I've seen killed enough. I just sprayed Crossfire today. How long will I keep getting bites? 3-4 weeks maybe. Dominican Republic, while I was staying there, I got bitten all over the legs. I'm guessing a few got into my luggage when I left. That's possible. If I had to choose between roaches, bed bugs, or mice, rather have food chewed up than deal with Dracula at night. They're all easy to get rid of, though. They're not hard to get rid of. I used to work for Coca-Cola. One of the CO2 cartridges blew, and it went through the roof of a semi-trailer. That's crazy. I sprayed Crossfire today, but forgot the bed legs. Can I apply with paintbrush tomorrow? Yes, you can. I feel bad about killing mice. I don't. They kill so many people every year. 150,000 people a year die from hantavirus alone. That's a lot from rodents. So it doesn't hurt my feelings to kill mice and rats. If you still have Crossfire, it says good for 24 hours after mixing. Shake well. That's true. Always shake it. I'm sorry, I yawned. Oh, I'm tired. I'm tired, always tired. Still doing okay after having my rental units professionally sprayed. Just hoping the tenants stay away from infested places. I know that's one of the biggest problems is convincing people to stop what caused them to get the bugs in the first place. People who get bed bugs are usually doomed to get them again, namely because they visit the same places where they got them in the first place, and not by their own fault, but a lot of times it's because they don't know the people they're visiting have bed bugs, and they don't know how they got them. I mean, so I got a video that's going live Tuesday. I went and edited it. I got it all completely edited and ready to upload. I haven't uploaded it yet, but I go over the most likely places that you are actually going to get bed bugs that you cannot avoid. And what do you do if your workplace has bed bugs? What do you do if you're a in-home nurse, all right, and your client has bed bugs? And if you deny that you're going to go there, you could get fired. You could lose your job. If your child's school bus has bed bugs, if your child's school has bed bugs, what do you do? How do you avoid bed bugs in your home? And so I go over that in my next video. So be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. But that's the thing, is that if you can't possibly avoid them, you're doomed to get them again, unless you practice preventative measures like treating your house regularly, once a month, so that you always have a residual down, so that if you do get bed bugs in the house, they don't have anywhere they can live. They'll die. I am just yawning all night. Aerosol Crossfire only works for a couple weeks. It's not as good as the liquid. Does spraying down Dawn warm soapy water help with bed bugs? Probably not. Might give them a little bath. Can you use Alpine WSG outdoors as a perimeter treatment? You can. I've been having trouble with ants. Yes, it's an indoor-outdoor spray. Just be careful of flowering plants because there is a bee warning on the label. So it's highly toxic to things like honeybees. So be very careful where you spray it, that it doesn't get on anything bees may be pollinating. I have Semexa. That thing gets everywhere. Yeah, I don't like Semexa at all. Here in the D.C. area. I'm going to D.C. tomorrow. Yeah. At Falls Church. I'll be in Falls Church tomorrow. Raid is worthless on bed bugs. It kills other bugs, but it's worthless on bed bugs. Correct. Treat your cars or trucks with Crossfire as well. That's true. Last place I worked, the office got bed bugs from a client. This was right after my first battle, and I was paranoid. Stripped as soon as I got home. Closed trait, sealed laundry basket. I did a bed bug job a couple days ago, and the first thing I did when I got home was whip right down and took my clothes off, put it in the washing machine immediately. I practice very. I mean, my shirts are very thin. They're the what they call Field and Stream, and they're embroidered with my logo, the same logo that's right here on my hat. And the problem is that embroidery, the shirt's so thin that if you dry it, it causes the shirt to curl up around the embroidery. And so I very rarely dry them in the dryer. I usually hang them to dry. But when I do bed bug work, I always dry my shirts in the dryer because that will kill the bed bugs in your clothing. You don't necessarily have to treat with Crossfire once a month. You could treat with something like Alpine. So I go over this in the video. I have a customer of mine that lives at Smith Mountain Lake, Virginia. She has a rental house. I service the house every single month, once a month. I've done it since I was 12. I'm 40 years old. So I've been to this woman's house since I was 12 years old. And I've always treated her house every month because she doesn't want, her tenants to find bugs when they come and they stay in her house. And so she had a bed bug outbreak maybe 6 or 7 years ago. And I went in there and I had been treating with Alpine. Alpine WSG is what I use in her house, inside, interior. And when I go through, I treat the base of the box springs and the bed legs around the bed, around the cracks around the bed. So that if anybody comes in to stay in her house, they bring bed bugs in there, they can't survive. When I got there to check on the house, because they had a bed bug outbreak, all the bed bugs were dead. Not a single live one in the house. So I usually do preventative with Alpine, but on the extreme cases where they're going to get a real severe case, if you don't, I use Crossfire. So, what do you recommend for people who have bugs, ants, mice, anything, bugs, pests in their cars? I treat cars. I treat cars all the time. It just depends on the pesticide. If you're going to use something in a vehicle and it can't be parked outside of the sun, I would use probably temperate, something with a high temperature. Because a high temperature rating, because not all pesticides have high temperature ratings. And one of the problems with treating cars is that the UV light. So when the UV light shines through the glass and comes into contact with treated surfaces, it breaks the chemical down really fast because the windows will create a refraction effect inside the vehicle, which will intensify the UV rays. And so that causes the chemical to break down faster than it would in a house. And so I don't recommend treating vehicles with much of anything other than something that's rated for high temperature, unless it's a bed bug specific problem. And then I would probably use Crossfire and maybe recommend to return in 2 weeks and treat again. That's what I would do with a vehicle. How hard is it to get a pesticide spraying license? I should show you the books. In fact, let me tell my son. Bring me all the pesticide manuals. There we go. Now I'll show you what it takes to get your pesticide license. Have you ever heard of a cone nose? There's supposed to be a bigger variety of bed bug. Let's see. I don't think so. Let's share. Cone nose bed bug. No. That is not a bed bug. If that's what they're trying to say is a bed bug, that's not a bed bug. That's like a kissing bug. Huh. Oh yeah, see, there's a blood-sucking cone nose. The kissing bug primarily feeds at night on blood of sleeping people or animals. Yeah. A lot of people have heard of the kissing bug. They can carry Chagas disease. But yeah, that's a kissing bug. So, that's what I thought you meant. These aren't very common. Just so you know, they're not like bed bugs. They're not very common at all. I had mice chew up my spark plug wires before it caused a misfire once. Figured out what happened. Let's see. Since it's getting warm here, I want to keep spiders out of my place because I'm a big baby and those things freak me out. Anything to look out for? Is that all of them? That's not all of them. That's not even the health one in there.
Let me go see if I can find that.
So, to get your pesticide applicator license in the state of Virginia, you have got to take a lot. You've got to study a lot. This is the answer to that question that somebody asked before. How hard is it to get your pesticide license? All right, so this book right here is general pest control. This is one of the easier ones to get. All right, this is this and this is another one you need to read. This is applying pesticides correctly, which most people don't do. It's important. See? It's important. It's so important that I have a warning. It's important. Now this book is that thick. To put things in perspective, that's an ink pen. Alright? That's the top of an ink pen. Alright, that's a lot. And it's not little text either. I mean, it's little text. See? It's a textbook. And there's a health one about this thick in order to do ticks and mosquitoes and stuff like that. So, yes, it's a lot. We have to learn a lot to get our pesticide applicator license. It is not easy to get it. Oh, I got more. So then you've got your public health, which is this one. This is actually bigger than that one I showed you. There's public health, mosquitoes and stuff. And then you've got your wood destroying. That's for termites, powder post beetles, carpenter ants, stuff like that. You know, wood destroying organisms. So in all, that. I got big hands. That. Now, here's a ruler. It's an old school ruler. Let's see. Yeah, what? 5 inches thick. It's a lot. It's hard, but if you're good at memorization, it's not too hard. I got it at 17 years old. That's why every 2 years, to get your license renewed, you have to go in to a course, and it's boring, and you sit there all day, but you'd rather do that than have to study all this all over again and get your test all over again. But that is how much work, that's how hard it is to get your applicator license. But that's to do everything. So I have a full license. I can do everything. I can do wood destroying, I can do termites, I could do, pest control, I can do it all. I can do everything. I've got full license. So But if you treat, so Tina says, I hate this time of year for mosquitoes, ticks, flea season. All right, so ticks, the best time to treat for ticks is between March and May in Virginia. Because if you treat for ticks, that's when they reproduce. And you can cut them out really easy that way. That's the best time to do it. And you don't have to worry about them crawling all over you either. Now, you wait later in the year, they get bad, and people start calling you because they get ticks all over them. Then it's miserable because you go out and you do tick jobs and the ticks crawl all over you too. So, but anyway, it's a lot. So, if you like the video, think of giving me a thumbs up. There's 26 people here. I don't know how many people like it because I don't follow it very close. But I thought I'd drop that in there because usually that's when Jennifer Lego would come in and say, hey, don't forget to like the video if you're here. The fee? The fee for a license in the state of Virginia, I think it's $150 a year to keep it current. I can't remember how much it costs to actually sit for the test. I cannot remember. It's been, I'm 40. I've had my license for 23 years. I honestly don't remember. It's probably higher than it was then anyway. So, is a license just for your state? Yeah. Now, I can get reciprocity through North Carolina. So, reciprocal license is for North Carolina, Tennessee, Maryland, Kentucky. I can get reciprocal. And then I can actually operate in those states under my Virginia license through a reciprocal license. But if you operate with a reciprocal license in a neighboring state like North Carolina, Tennessee, something like that, then they kind of expect you to eventually get your North Carolina or your Tennessee license or whatever state you're actively working in. I think you can get reciprocal license in D.C. as well because I don't have I can't service the District of Columbia because it's not considered in the state of Virginia. It's outside of the state of Virginia, so I would have to get a separate license for there. And I think their fee is like $250 to get their license. I think. Because I did look into that. But honestly, it's just stretched too thin. I can't be going over to all of the states and stuff and worry about it. So, anyway. I can't remember. There was something else. I don't know why this is on my desk. But this is on my desk. I think one of my children was playing on my desk today. What do you think? He's friendly. You know when they tell you what's wrong with you, you act like you got a stick up your butt? Is that what they mean? What do you think? I don't look comfortable at all, does it? Oh my goodness. How to get rid of springtails. I'm in a mood. I'm telling you. I'm in a mood. Let's see. Spring tails. There you go. How to get rid of springtails. Share. Copy. How to get rid of springtails. Let's share it in chat. For some reason, bedbugs seem to bite in threes. Sometimes. Sometimes they bite in threes. Sometimes they just bite you once. It really just depends on if they can get a full blood meal with one bite. I've got flea bites on me right now. On my ankles. Went into a house of fleas the other day. I hate fleas. Are springtails the same as silverfish? No. No, they are not. Silverfish and fire brats, very similar. Some prefer damp, some prefer cool. Damp, some prefer hot, arid. Let me see, silverfish. I haven't done a silverfish video. I should do one. They won't get any views at all. Nobody wants to see that. But that's a silverfish. So that's what a silverfish looks like. And they're about maybe a ½ inch long to an inch long. And then you got a fire brat. There's fire brat. So they're very similar to a silverfish, almost identical. And then you got springtail. There's a springtail. Now springtails are really, really tiny. Now this is a flea right here. That's a flea. That's not a springtail. But a springtail, they have this really weird little curled things. This is more about what they look like. They're maybe about the size of an ant, like a small ant that comes in the house. And when you go and mess with them, they'll just boop, and they'll jump from one spot to another. Usually like 3 to 6 inches away, they'll just jump. And it looks like they're teleporting, but they have this little tail that curls down under their body, and it when they get agitated, just they push that tail out, and it makes their whole body spring forward. So, but they don't bite. If you do have problems with springtails, you need to check and see if you have water leakage or moisture buildup, because they eat mildew and mold and stuff like that, and usually it's a sign that you have a drainage issue, maybe a leaky roof or a leak in the wall, maybe a pipe that's leaking in the wall, and it hasn't quite gotten bad enough to where you've noticed it in the house yet, but you're starting to get springtails, because that's what they're attracted to. Do you see more bed bugs in slummy motels than average fancy hotels? I see more in slummy hotels, but I've seen them in fancy hotels too. I've stayed in a lot of hotels because I do a lot of bed bug travel. And in fact, we're planning a trip to Florida in August. And when I went to Florida, I took my daughter to Disney World. And this was maybe almost 5 years ago. I took her to Disney World, and the place we stayed at in Kissimmee had bed bugs. It had them before I found traces of bed bugs on the bed. So, Alpine for prevention for bed bugs. Yes, I don't want to be the landlord with recurrent bed bugs. My tenant is too embarrassed to tell me. So in Virginia, it's illegal for landlords to treat for bed bugs. It's illegal for landlords to treat for roaches or any insect at all without a pesticide applicator license. So be careful what you do as a landlord. If you're doing pest control, check with your local ordinances and make sure it's actually not illegal. Because in Virginia, if you're going to apply pesticide, the reason it's illegal in the state of Virginia is because they expect you to get your license if you're gonna apply pesticide for profit. And if you're renting your property, they assume that if you're providing pesticide or pesticide services, pest control services, then you're providing pest control services and they are paying you for it by staying in your property. So it's one of those roundabout ways that they charge landlords exorbitant fees and fines if they catch you applying pesticide without a license. So in Florida, I don't even think you can you can treat your own property, even if you do have a license. I don't even think it's allowed in Florida. Do bed bugs bite animals? Yes, they do. They will bite animals, especially if the animal's the only blood meal. They're not going to live on the animal. They don't do that. So, where's your mother?
She's up in on the main floor.
Okay.
She's putting it back together.
Okay. I was just curious if she's going to come down here and hang out with me tonight before I get off live stream. She usually hangs out with me and she talks to me and stuff. Do any pesticides last for more than 1 month? I don't think they do. I mean, all right. So by definition, if you're going to ask if a pesticide lasts, then yes, they last for a long time. But the question you want to ask is, does Alpine WSG, let's use that for example. Does Alpine WSG actually kill bugs for 60 days? Because the label of Alpine claims it will last for 30 to 60 days. But does it kill bugs for 60 days? Just because you can find a residue 60 days later doesn't mean it's actually killing a bug 60 days later. That's the problem, is that they will have on the label that a pesticide... let me show you. Let me show you an unbelievable thing. This is unbelievable. Home defense. All right, home defense. One of the most common pesticides people buy. All right, let's look at this. $12 months. Up to 12 months of protection. Have you ever used home defense? Anybody? Has anybody ever used home defense? In my chat tonight, anybody? Has anybody in TikTok ever used home defense? Has anybody? You spray it once in May of 2022. Do you think you're still going to have bugs in 2023 in May if you haven't sprayed any more but just that one time? That's called sneaky advertising. That means somewhere they were able to get a residual 12 months later and say, well, it's still there. But yeah, so that's the thing. That's the thing. It doesn't last for 12 months. It doesn't kill for 12 months. It does not. It does not. Guaranteed, you're lucky to get it to last 2 weeks. It does not last. So, but they've got all these asterisks and little crosses and stuff, so they want you to look elsewhere on the label where they will explain to you that not really, you know. It's crazy. But that's advertising. That's how they advertise pesticides. So I don't believe any pesticide lasts for 90 days. The products, well, our products that we use have a 90-day residual. Is that true for all products out there? So Samari has a 90-day residual. Demon Max has a 90-day residual. Talstar has a 90-day residual. But from using all three of these chemicals, none of them kill for 90 days. Okay, so if I was a customer and I'm buying pest control services from your company, and you say you're guaranteeing quarterly service, all right, once every 90 days you're going to come to my house, you go guarantee I'm not going to have bugs. All right, the problem is that when the bug lives through the chemical, like so let's say customer perception. All right, so customer perception is that the bug's going to die when it crosses through the chemical, right? When you first apply the chemical, the bug dies. It does, within a few minutes, because it's strong. It's at its strongest point. When you first apply it, it's at its strongest point. But as it sits, it loses its effectiveness over a period of 90 days. So let's say 30 days has passed. It may take that bug, where it was taking it just a few minutes to die from the chemical, now it's taking maybe 8 hours, 12 hours, maybe even an entire day to die from the chemical. By the time 90 days rolls around, that bug may still be dying from the chemical, but it's dead like in 3 weeks or 4 weeks. It's taking it like a month to die. It's still dying, but customer perception is, it ain't dying, I see it. You know, when a customer calls you as a pest control technician, they want you to kill your bug, to kill their bug, kill it dead. They don't want to see the bug. They don't want to know the bug is there. And so when you provide guaranteed 90-day service, it's a great thing to do for your customer, but you're going to be back out to the house. The problem is that they're going to expect you to come out there and service the house and guarantee it and kill their bug, and you're going to have more callbacks, and you're going to have more disgruntled customers. And people talk, and they're going to say, don't hire them because they're not doing the service. They're guaranteeing 90 days, and they had to come out to my house 3 or 4 times between visits, because you really should be doing monthly service. If you're providing a monthly service and you're going out once a month, that's what the label will allow. That's what you should do. Samari lasts 90 days. It still allows up to once a month treatments, you know, because they know that it's going to react. It's going to work better. Demon Max lasts for 90 days, but they allow once a month treatment. Talstar lasts 90 days. They allow for every other week treatments. And so the point is that they admit on the label by saying that you may have to apply more frequently, because 90 days is really not going to please people. They're not going to be happy with that. And the whole point of being in business is not to have callbacks, to have happy customers to where you don't have callback service. You don't have to do it. Like in a whole year, I may have to go back on 10, 15 stops. The whole year. You know, I don't get callback. You know, I read an article. Oh, it might as well have been an article. It was a really long post on Facebook about, you know, this guy. He owned a pest control company, and he wanted to try to figure out how he could reduce his callback number, and he was getting like 15% callback. And I'm like, I don't even register in 1%. Like, I don't even have 1% callbacks. It's like, it's a percent of a percent, because I service so frequently, because I'm old school, once a month, every month. I'm a baseboard jockey. I treat baseboards. I treat windowsills. I treat door frames. I treat places. I prevent bugs. You know, you can't possibly get to every single crack and crevice around the exterior of a home. You know, 2-3 story home is not possible. It's just not humanly possible to get every single crack. There are going to be places bugs can get past, that they're going to get in the house. So you do inside and outside treatment on every single house. Every single house. Unless the customer doesn't want you to do it. But then you just look at them and you say, all right, but I can't guarantee unless I've treated the area. You know, if you don't let me in those rooms, I can't guarantee you won't have bugs in those rooms, because I haven't serviced the room. So. This is an excellent channel. He goes into detail. I'm in Virginia too. Good chemical learn. Let's see. Seems like common sense. He learns something new every day. Heat treatment stuff. Where in Virginia do you live? I'd like to know where you live in Virginia. Just curious. You don't have to give me your address or nothing. I'm just curious. The older generation used to use kerosene. Actually, Dursban, I think you had to use either kerosene or diesel fuel had to be used to mix it, because it's a petroleum distillate. It carries the chemical. If you live in a cold climate, you could put your stuff in a storage unit that's not climate controlled, and it will kill your bed bugs. That's not true. It doesn't get hot enough in a climate. It doesn't get cold enough, and it doesn't get hot enough either. It's got to be minus 40 degrees Fahrenheit. Minus 40 degrees, yeah. I gotta use the bathroom again. Again. I'll be right back. You think you're funny. You think you're so funny. He broke the seal. He broke the seal. I drink a lot of water. Like a lot of water. I mean, this is 40 ounces. It's almost empty. And my son brought it to me. It was full. So, when I was 20, I moved out of the house. I got my own apartment. And I realized just how much money my mother was spending in soda. So I stopped drinking soda. I don't drink soda at all. Like soda pop, Coca-Cola, Pepsi. I don't drink any of them. Very rarely, if I go to a restaurant, I might get a sweet tea. But I prefer water. And I drink a lot of water. I work in the heat of the day. I get used to drinking gallons of the stuff every day. I love water. It's my favorite. And when you drink a lot of water, you pee a lot. I told my wife, you know those commercials where they're like, do you suffer from frequent urination? I actually saw one of them commercials one day, and I got to thinking, and I told Alicia, I'm like, you think I might have a problem with my prostate or something? Because I pee a lot. And she looked at me, and she just laughed, and she said, Jason, you drink like 3 or 4 gallons of water a day. She's like, you drink more water than the average person. You drink a lot of water. You're going to pee a lot. So, oh my gosh. Now I've done embarrassed myself. Now I'm even turning pink. I done embarrassed myself in front of YouTube sharing all kinds of crazy stories. But anyway, there you go. That's my story for the day. Well, that's one of them. I have made it my goal to learn as much as I can about these miserable bugs. Let's see, take your clothes. I'm so happy Crossfire works. I've had visions of bed bugs being immune to everything. I mean, maybe cold storage in Alaska, maybe. I mean, it would have to be really cold. It's got to be up near the Arctic Circle. Okay, so a fitted sheet does not prohibit bed bugs from coming in contact with the mattress. Bed bugs like to squeeze in a crack, and I did a. Let me do it. I'll do it again. Let's see. Let's do paint. Paint. Let's share my scene again here. Let's do this here. Man, my camera is drunk. There we go. That's better. Alright, so let's do this. Let me explain to you how a fitted sheet, why a mattress, if you use a fitted sheet on a mattress, how it works. And you can still kill bed bugs. So there's your mattress. Alright? Your fitted sheet is fitted all the way, and usually it makes like a little... And then when you're laying on it at night, this part right here smacks you in the face. At least that's what happens to me. Thing always pops off and smacks me in the face. Wakes me up. So anyway. So the problem is, let's say it's even a better fitted sheet than this. Let's say the whole thing is fitted around. And let's see, undo. Alright, undo. There we go. And so the bottom of your mattress, now that's the side view. This is the bottom view. And then you'll have the fitted sheet will go usually like this. Alright. And that touches the top of your mattress. Right? So that's your mattress. I mean, I'm sorry, your box spring. So that mattress is going to sit on top of your box spring. So right here is your box spring. Let's just do a weird little thing without having to be all special. Alright. So when the bed bug comes up the side of your box spring, he's traveling this way, like this. Alright. He's never come in contact with the crossfire here because there's a fitted sheet. Right? So he comes up and he bites you. Alright. But then he goes back down. Okay. Now bed bugs have a desire to fit into a crack. So what they do is they squeeze in between the box spring and the mattress in this little spot right here. Okay? Now when they crawl in there, they crawl, let's say, now let's go to the bottom view. They're crawling in here. They get to this fitted sheet and they crawl underneath it. I've taken sheets off of beds. Let's see if I can draw a better arrow than that. Like that. Okay? They go underneath the fitted sheet. Now this is all treated with Crossfire. All right. Crossfire. All right. That's treated with Crossfire. So they've come into contact with it by going between the mattress and the box spring. But even then, all right, the truth is that you should, now let's pretend this is a box spring now. All right, there's your mattress on top of your box spring. You should be, if you're following your label, you should be treating this. This box spring gets treated. All right, that's not covered with a fitted sheet. Now you might have a bed skirt on it, which I recommend taking those off. Take a bed skirt off. But you're supposed to treat that part. And then let's say your headboard's here, all right, and your footboard's here. It's usually shorter than the headboard, all right, and you got your bed rails, okay? Beautiful. See, it's a perfect bed. Who wouldn't want to sleep on a bed like that? All right, you treat this. You treat this. You treat the bed legs, that, all right, and you're worried about a fitted sheet. Now you look at all these different ways that the bed bugs have to be able to get to the fitted sheet. All right, this is treated. All right, the bed legs are treated. The base of the bed is treated. The bed itself, the headboard, the footboard, the bed rails, everything that holds the bed together is treated. Plus the box spring is treated. All right, all this is treated. The mattress isn't that important if all of this has already been treated. You get what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Thank you for the info, because we get callbacks all the time. If you want to reduce your callbacks, go more often. I have some quarterly customers, and I've got to go on a callback for a quarterly customer tomorrow. I don't hardly ever get callbacks on monthly customers, but he's quarterly, and he has spiders. And I only see the problem with quarterly service is if you're going once a quarter, then in between visits, when the chemical has lost its effectiveness, the bugs can get reestablished. Now, the customer may not notice the bug right away, but when you go back and you treat again the next quarter, the bugs tend to go crazy when they get treated. As they die, most pesticides are nerve toxins, and so they're killing the insect through a nervous system failure, and they'll start crawling out and doing weird things after you've treated, just like an initial. Most initials I tell the customer, don't be alarmed if you see things come out you didn't know were in the house. And I'll tell them right out, because a lot of bugs will hide from you. And in 3 months' time, it's like doing another initial all over again. And so you're chasing out bugs that have reinfested between visits, and the people are going to have problems. And that's another problem with quarterly service. Not so much with bi-monthly service, but quarterly service, definitely. So let me rephrase. Is it normal to find small bed bugs in a vehicle 3 weeks after a Crossfire treatment? Yes. In fact, you may have to treat more often in a car. I just went over this earlier. You may have to treat once every 2 weeks in a car because of the refraction of sunlight, and UV rays will break down pesticides. Not only that, but heat will too. And so you may have to treat a car more frequently than a house in order to kill the bed bugs in a car. And you use your car. You use it all the time. You're not going to be living in your car. You're not living in your car like your house. So the bed bugs are not going to come out as frequently in a car as they will as if you were actually living in the car. How to treat scorpions? I don't know. I don't do scorpions. We don't have scorpions in Virginia. Thank God. Scorpions terrify me. I'm scared of scorpions. The thought of a spider, right? A scorpion's an arachnid, all right? A spider with a stinging tail is terrifying to me. I used to be an arachnophobic. I used to be real scared of spiders when I was young. And the idea that a spider can have a tail that bends up like this to go like on Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, I think was terrifying to me. The thing it killed the ant. That was so scary. Hated that. moving to Alaska so I can get away from any bugs at all. If you're working in pest control, you're in the right field to kill bugs. I have a box style bed, aka a mattress that rests on a frame. I guess no frame. I sprayed the bed. Seems like the mattress lies on my bed doesn't have feet. So if you have a platform bed or something similar to a platform bed, then you have to treat the platform the bed lays on, like the whole thing, like surface area. And in the cracks, take stuff apart, treat in cracks. Take the pieces of boards up and treat underneath them and everything. How do you know when you don't have any more bed bugs? Typically it's 30 days after you see the last bug or get bit is typically that's the industry standard of not having any more bed bugs. You want to go at least 30 days. Yes, increased activity is a sign that the chemical is working because it affects the insect's nervous system. That is correct. Too bad you can't just adopt an aardvark or a possum. You had a scorpion as a pet? Not me. Not me. I just killed a scorpion in my kitchen Sunday. We had scorpions a lot growing up in Arizona desert. My wife said she went on vacation one time and, being a kid and all, and she said the scorpions were crawling on her when she was on vacation. She couldn't stand it. Alicia? Did you get stung by any scorpions? Yeah, she got stung by. How many? Oh, just one? Did it hurt? Was it like a bee sting? I've never been stung by a scorpion, thank God. Worse than a bee sting? It burned? Yeah. When are you coming down here? You not coming down here? Alright. She's not coming down here. Oh, well thank you, Chevelles. I live in North Carolina. I used to live in North Carolina. I lived in Gaston County for 3 months. Not long. Just long enough to realize I had to get a divorce. That's all. Well, I am going to call it a night. It's been an hour and a half. I am exhausted. I've been yawning all night. And I think my wife is ready to go to bed too. It's 11:30. So I got to work real early in the morning. Got to treat daycare. They're fun. Got to get there before any children get there. So I am going to get out of here. Can you clean carpets months after a crossfire treatment? Yeah, clean them. Clean your carpets. Don't spray your carpet with crossfire. Don't area affect your carpet. Don't do that. You don't do that on your carpet. You don't broadcast. You just treat the cracks and crevices around the edge. That's the places that the bed bugs are going to be. They're not fleas. They don't live in the middle of the floor. They live next to the edge. Y'all have a real great night. I appreciate it, and I will see you next time. And try to subscribe to the channel so you catch me when I'm live and when I do my my videos. I typically upload every Tuesday as long as I have one. I live in Lincoln County, and Gaston County borders. Oh, I know where Lincoln County is. I know where Lincoln County is. I actually lived in. I have my stepdaughters still live. I think in Stanley. One lives in Stanley, and one lives in Hickory. So yes, I've been to Lincoln County a lot. But y'all have a real great night. I appreciate it. And we'll be talking to you later. Thank you.